This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Let's go. Holy shit. I'm back, baby. I'm back in action. I didn't think I was going to make it this one. This one was tough because I'll tell you why. 6 o'clock came, right? 5 o'clock came. Wife locked the keys. My keys in the truck. My in-laws had to drive out there. If you're from this area, you know driving from Cincinnati through Northern Kentucky during rush hour is the worst thing that's ever happened in the history of mankind. So that kind of sucked. But the most important thing is we're here. I almost had to push it till fucking yesterday or to tomorrow. What am I saying? I don't know. I'm distracted. It's been a while. Welcome to the MMA Takes Podcast. I'm glad you guys are here. And I'll tell you why. Because it's been too long since I've talked to you boys and girls. I have a lot to grieve about, a lot to complain about. I'm going to maybe save that because we have 15 fights to get through, and we're trying to make money. We're trying to fucking get the best fights we can. I am. If you've been with me for a long time, you know I'm OCD about my setup. I like my gear. I like to keep it fancy. I got some situations going on right now where I could go a tight 25 minutes complaining about what I have right now because companies have failed me. The shippers of this world have failed me. I got a lot to complain about. There's a lot in the book I could go through. It's been a week since I've talked to you boys. It's been a week. I could go. There's a laundry list of things I could do. I'm electing not to do that because we got 15 fights. You're here for the fights. You're not here for my complaints. Maybe I'll complain next week when we do the recap show. That's usually what I complain about. But I'm happy you're here. I'm happy that you're watching. I'm happy that I'm picking fights again. It's been too goddamn long. Full disclosure. Boop, at the top of the show. I want this to be on the top of the show. This card is a very special card. It's a very good card. I love it. The dogs are barking. The dogs are barking on this card for sure. I'm sure you've listened to other podcasts this week. I'm a little later in the week here on Thursday night, but every capper is letting you know the dogs are barking. It is moving lines left and right. So the lines I have today, they're probably moved a little bit. Bear with me. However, no slime ball parlay. I'm sorry. I tried everything I could do. There's only one guy I really absolutely love. This is going to be single bet city. Single bets across the board. This is going to be maybe a little bit of an underdog parlay. If I do that, I will share that with you on Saturday. This is going to be maybe props. Maybe I can get off my prop skid that I've been on. But no slime ball parlay. I try to make it work. I try to fucking figure it out. I try to grease the wheels. I try to get the kinks going. I literally I could not figure it out. Like I said, there was one guy I was supremely confident. Everyone else I was just like, that slime ball's not meant for underdogs. That's the underdog parlay, which I went 0 for 3 last time I did that. So I didn't want to jinx myself. I didn't want to go crazy with it, but we got a lot of bets, got a lot of picks. I'm going to paint the board this week. I have at least what? Let me see. Let me flip this book open. Okay. Yeah. So I got at least 6 single bets right now. I haven't even dove into the props yet. 6 chunky bets. I'm not putting a quarter unit. We're going 1 unit. We're going 3 units. We're going 2 units. We're going big, boys. 3 more cards at the end of the year. Either I'm going to be up a lot come January or I'm going to be down a lot. Okay. You empty the clip. You let the fucking work speak for itself, baby. First fight of the night. Luis Smolka -150 versus Vince Morales +122. This fight kind of stinks a little bit on paper. Vince Morales is a guy who I can't quit because Team Alpha Male, good wrestler, was on the Contender Series, then went to Bellator, got a win, back to the UFC, has fought some high-level guys, has looked like shit in some of these fights, has looked like okay prospect, coming off a win over Jacob Rodriguez. It was a close fight, but Vince Morales, he just gets there and he just falls flat. Then you got Luis Smolka coming off a finish win over Jose Alberto Quinones, and Luis Smolka has been up and down in his career. This guy is an up and down fighter. He's all over the place. He's had some, I think, outside problems Can I say outside problems? You guys know what that means? I think he's had some problems outside the UFC with like personal stuff, but I think he's cleaned it up. He has looked good since he's been cut from the UFC. He's been brought back. I think he looks better. However, I said at the top of the show, the dogs are barking. Luis Smoke at -150 is laughable to me. I don't know how you take that. I'm going Vince Morales here. I can't quit the guy. I'm going to go with him again. I don't love this pick. This might not be something I bet. I do like the number next to his name at +122. Vince Morales is an okay striker. I think Luis Smoka is decent on the ground. I think he can strike a little bit. I think Vince Morales is going to be the more physical guy. I think he can take Smoka down. I think he can maybe avoid some submissions, get some ground and pound off. I think he's probably, if he wants to, he can keep it on the feet. Luis Smoka, I don't think, has the biggest power on the feet. He's got some good kicks. He's crafty a little bit, but nothing crazy power. Like, he throws his stuff to get the fight to the ground. I think Vince Morales is a good enough wrestler and strong enough that he might maybe not want to take it to the ground. I think Morales is going to dictate where this fight goes, and that's the guy I'm going to go with. And when you give me a plus number next to his name, you see that plus sign? Yeah, sign me up. But this will be the last time I bet Vince Morales, because I just can't keep betting the guy. You know what I mean? I can't keep betting a scrub like that. All right, next up, Alex Morono. -225 versus Mickey Gall. Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Still one of the best walkouts I've ever seen when he beat up CM Punk. He's +180. Listen, I don't like either of these guys. Morono's a guy who I have faded a lot, and I think he's very average. He has looked like he has been pretty good as of late. He has had some chin problems. Sometimes in his fights, his chin shows up. Sometimes it doesn't. His jiu-jitsu's pretty good. His wrestling's good. He runs his own gym and then does his camp at Fortis or something like that. He's a Texas boy. Mickey Gall's kind of bounced around. He went out to the Jersey kid, jiu-jitsu kid in Jersey, went all the way out west for a little bit in California a few years ago. Wasn't really getting, I guess, the work he wanted. Ended up with Matt Brown in Ohio. I mean, listen, we breed Ohio tough, baby. Ohio tough for sure. But he looked good his last time against Jordan Williams. But Jordan Williams is not good. You know what I mean? He's just not good. So I like Morono here. I don't like the number, but listen, I can't bet Mickey Gall at +180. I know he might be the value pick here, but this guy's jiu-jitsu, I think he's a fraud in the jiu-jitsu. The only bigger fraud with their black belt is Charles Rosa. This guy, I think, is a complete fraud with his jiu-jitsu, with his black belt skills. And any time a fighter has been finished by Diego Sanchez in this century, 2019, Mickey Gall got finished by Diego Sanchez after calling him out. I know that was 2 years ago. Mickey, he's with Matt Brown. He's learning how to dip, take a dip, spit some dip. He's getting tough, young fighter. But when you get TKO by Diego Sanchez not that long ago, I mean, this wasn't 10 years ago. This was 2 years ago. And Diego's only other finish up until that point was 2008. I can't pick you ever. I don't care if you're plus 10,000. I can't pick you. I just can't. I think Morono dictates here. I think he has better stand-up. I think he's going to avoid Mickey. Mickey is a long guy, and his stand-up looks okay. I mean, he outboxed Mike Perry in that fight. Mike Perry grounded him. Mickey's stand-up has come a long way. It looks like he put on some power. He does have some good straight punches. That obviously is a fear when Morono fights, is he could get clipped. He has a chin problem, and Mickey does have those long-range punches that people they might get snuck up on. You might get snuck up on some of these punches, but I like Morono here. I think he can dictate this fight. I think if he takes the fight to the ground, I think he's fine. I think Mickey's going to slow down if it gets 3 rounds. Mickey Gall can't be the nail here. Alex Morono, maybe have some dangerous spots in this fight. Maybe he might get caught a little bit, but yeah, I think Morono is going to dictate this. I think Morono is going to win the fight. No problem. Next up, the big boys. The big boys that no one gives a shit about. Asmat. You got to prepare for this fucking name. Asmat Morocco. Oh, hang on. That font's weird. I chose a weird font if you're watching this. Asmat Murzakanov versus Jarrett Van Den Neer. Asmat, we'll call him Asmat. -215, Jarrett Van Den Neer. +172 for the big boys. Here. Big old thick drink. I know you guys love that. The ASMR people, the misophomias or whatever the fuck that's called, probably drive you nuts. Listen, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I'm fading Asmat here. Give me Jarrett Van Den Neer. I think the guy stinks. I think he's a punching bagger a lot of times. I think his ground game is complete shit. He's 6'4", Asmat's 5'10". Asmat's coming off the Contender Series. A lot of his he wins a lot of his fights by knockout. You come in here, you fight a big guy like Janet Vandernier, who's maybe going to take your shots. You're going to gas out a little bit. You're going to be undersized. I can see Vandernier taking this at plus 172. I'm going to take it. I'm not falling for the bait. I'm not falling for these Contender Series guys coming in, looking pretty good. I'm not going to fucking fall for it. I'm not going to fall for it. And I'm choosing not to, is what I'm saying. I'm choosing not to. I see Vandernier getting knocked around maybe that first round. He's going to have a size advantage. He's got to have a reach advantage. Asmat is a good striker. He's a powerful guy. But he's got to come a long way to hit Vandernier. Vanderniere's smart, which he's not. I'll go on the record and say he's not smart. But if he was smart, clinch up, use his size, move around a little bit. I think he'll be okay if he can do that. And when you give me plus 172 against a guy coming off the Contender Series, which I don't have the stats with me. If I was a better podcaster, I'd throw some stats up and say, here are the guys that have won out the Contender Series that made the UFC debut. They don't do so well. You can fact check me, but that's the stat I'm giving out right now. Is I don't think they do that well. So that's my pick. Next up, Claudio Pules minus 115 versus Chris Grushmacher minus 105. Chris Grushmacher looking straight fucking caveman in this picture. I love it. This is a guy who I thought when he came out to be a fighter, I was like, there's no way this guy's gonna have a career in the UFC. I think he's tough. That's it. That's the only. He's got good cardio and he's tough. That's it. He's 15-4, which is actually bonkers to me that he has that kind of record. 15 fights. He just has a unique style where he walks forward and he fucking takes your best shot and he laughs at you and then he breaks you down. He did the same thing with Joe Lozon. Alex Hernandez knocked him out, and Rafi Garcia, who does pack big power, thought he had him out there the first round. He didn't. So, you know, he's got a win-loss record. He is susceptible to submissions. He can get taken down. But he just walks forward like a fucking caveman and he takes the shots. Claudio Pules not undefeated in UFC. Lost the UFC debut to Marvin Bravo by knockout. It was kind of a weird fight. On a 3-fight win streak, though. But against, okay competition. I mean, Marcus Morono kind of stinks. Felipe Silva's all right. And then you got Jordan Levitt, which was his last win, which is a good win. The Monkey King. What is his nickname? I don't know. Jordan Levitt's a fucking weird dude. But Pules is a guy who is kind of good everywhere. He's got some good strikes. He got some good kicks. He seems pretty good, pretty strong in there. It's going to come down to cardio. This fight's going to come down to cardio. It's going to come down to, can Pules stand his ground and hit Grushmacher enough for this fucking caveman not to walk forward anymore? Is that a possibility? Can that happen? I don't know. Pules doesn't have the biggest power. He doesn't have the most finishes on his record. He is clean with the striking. But it's still going to come down to cardio. It's going to come down to cardio and possibly wrestling. Pules can mix it up, try to take Grushmacher down, try to submit him instead of just standing up with him, because it's so enticing to stand up with this guy because he's walking forward. He's fucking Homer Simpson. You're bop, 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 bop. And you're like, shit, I just got a 5-piece off on this guy. I'm feeling good. And the guy just keeps walking forward like, all right, here's another 5-piece. Bop, 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 bop. And then you're like, okay, wait, I'm getting tired. This guy's still fucking coming forward. It's a very unique style. I hate it. I think he's average. I can't believe he's 15-4. With that being said, I'm going to take Pules here. This is a pick 'em fight. I don't have a strong lean on this one. This is maybe one I'm not going to bet. Maybe I will. I don't have a good track record against Grushmacher because I just don't think he's that good, right? But then he goes out there and he beats fucking people like Rafi Garcia, who's average, but he goes out there and beats him when he was getting knocked around, beats Joe Lozon. And Joe Lawson I have, some respect for. I know it's towards the later of his career, but you know what I mean. I'm going to go Pules, though. I really don't have a strong lean. I think the matchmakers got this right because I don't think Vegas even knows. Vegas has no fucking idea what Chris Grushmacher is going to do. You know what I mean? And Pules has got to be cutting angles. He's got to be moving. He's got to be throwing strikes and just keep moving. And I really want to see if his cardio holds up. I hope it does. But I don't know. Next up, Alonzo Menefield, minus 158 versus William Knight, plus 128. This line's moving. Willie was a little higher. Now he's a little lower. I think money's coming on William Knight. This fight was tough for me. I feel like this fight's been made like 10 times. It's never happened, right? Both guys, beefy boys for 205 pounds. Menefield just ricked up. William Knight, short guy, smaller guy for the division, but another bricked up dude. Both these guys have been exposed since coming from the Contender Series. William Knight is good on top, but his takedowns are average, right? His stand up is his chin's in the air. It's not great, but he's got big power. Menefield, his thing is a confidence issue. I think once he started losing some fights in there, and when he was undefeated, and he was like, wait, I'm not knocking everybody out like I used to. What the fuck's going on? And on top of that, I'm getting tired. What the hell? He was coming off a win over Ed Herman, which, Ed Herman is 1,000 years old. It was a good win, but there were some moments in there where you're like, God, Menifield should be knocking this dude around. He wasn't, and everyone's like, what the fuck is going on here? A lot of people love Menifield. He's minus 158. The books love him. William Knight didn't look so great against Dong Jun. Got taken down, got exposed. He doesn't have many good wins on his UFC. Alexa Kimura is trash, and his last fight against Fabio Charant, the Water Buffalo, he was getting pieced up on the feet. He was getting tagged pretty good, and then he just fucking was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going out. He's going out. And he threw a fucking Hail Mary and Doug Flutie. He threw a Doug Flutie, caught Charant and knocked him out, and then acted like, I meant to do that. No, you didn't. However, when you get this fight again, it seems like it's been made 10 times. I flipped my mind 10 times. But I'm going to go dog. I'm going to go William Knight. I'm going to go doggy here. Bow, wow, wow, baby. I just see a world where William Knight keeps his chin up in the air. And a Menifield has better, cleaner boxing. And Menifield can clip him and knock him out for sure. Without a doubt. Without question. Or William Knight can maybe work Menifield a little bit. Keep him at distance. Take him down. If William Knight gets on top of Menifield. Because they're both big, thick, strong boys. But if William Knight can get on top of Menifield, that's going to be a problem. William Knight does have power. He does have good ground and pound. Menifield does not like being off his back. Just take a look. Just look at a picture of him. Just look at the picture I have right now. Go MMA Takes Podcast on YouTube. Just look at the picture. This guy does not like being off his back, right? So, I'm leaning light here. You're giving me a plus number. I know he's a little bit higher. I say bet this now. This might be a live spot as well. I actually like this fight to bet. This will be something I bet. I like William Knight. I wish I could live bet in the state of Ohio. Ohio needs to get off their ass, but this is definitely going to be out of the first round. I want to see how they both look cardio-wise because Menifield does slow down. William Knight, even though he's short, buff, and a lot of muscle, a lot of those guys usually don't carry cardio. His cardio has actually been okay. Even when he gets his ass kicked, it's been there. And I think his game plan is try to limit the striking distance with Menifield and get the fight to the ground. Problem is, can he take the fight to the ground? William Knight doesn't have the best wrestling in the world. He is strong, but fucking Menifield could be stronger. I don't know. But I like Willie Knight in that fight. Next up, Mallory Martin versus Cheyenne Vlismith. This used to be Cheyenne Bays. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. I don't know if she had a divorce. I don't know what's going on with her and JP. All I know is I read an article 2 weeks ago on Twitter that Cheyenne Vlismith, had really bad COVID. And my baby's crying in the background. Jesus fucking Christ. Can't even get away from it. She had COVID really bad. And her lungs were bad. And she's sick. I'm crazy for taking this fight. She's a 2-5 favorite. I think she might be down to 190 right now. I'm gonna keep this short. I'm gonna take Cheyenne. Mallory Martin has changed some things up. I think she's John Wynn's girlfriend. Maybe, I don't know if they're still together, but she was at AK. Now she's in Colorado. She is a good grappler. She can get the fight to the ground. Obviously, I'm worried about Cheyenne. She's coming through possibly a divorce, COVID. She's got a lot of things on the burners here, right? She's got a lot of things personally, and then obviously the COVID thing affecting her lungs. She said she had a horrible cough. She was prescribed an inhaler. You need your lungs when you fight people. Believe it or not, you need your lungs. And so that scares me. Mallory Martin, though, I think is just on the right side of average, or the wrong side of average. Excuse me. I just think that's what she is. I think she can maybe expose Cheyenne if this fight goes longer with the grappling and maybe grind her out. I don't see a finish here. Plus 164. I can see people taking shots at her because Cheyenne does have a lot of personal stuff going on. And believe what you want, but that you take that into the cage with you. You 100% do. But yeah, I just can't pull the trigger on Mallory Martin. This is a pass for me, though. I'm not going to bet this. I think Cheyenne's way too high. I don't like Mallory Martin's skills enough, but she's with a new camp now. Maybe things are changing around. And again, there's a lot of X factors with Cheyenne, so I'm going to avoid this fight altogether. I'm not taking it. Well, bam, here we go, 7th fight. Now we're talking. Now we're fucking talking. Zalga Zumagululov, plus 210 versus Manel Kopp, minus 265. Here's my big spiel. This is the guy, Manel Kopp, that would have been in my slime ball. Line 1, first guy, right? Very confident in this guy. He's 1-2 in the UFC. Everyone's complaining about this line. Oh, how could you bet Manel Kopp at minus 265? He's done nothing. He's 1-2 in the UFC. Blah, 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 blah. I agree. Hammer, get him. Let's get him lower. Hammer Zugov. Because Zugov or Zumagulov hasn't fucking done it. Well, he knocked out Jerome Rivera or choked him out, whatever he did. Who fucking cares? Jerome Rivera can't win a fight. This guy's nails, though. He comes forward, he's nails. He wants to fight at your pace, and then sometimes he'll speed it up a little bit, but then go back to that pace. That's what concerns me about this fight. Is Zumagulov isn't like a super pressure fighter. He likes to go forward sometimes, but sometimes he does like to play back. Both these guys could really have a boring fight here because Manel Kape, my biggest complaint for him since coming over the UFC, is very patient, almost too patient. Pantoja fight, he just stared at him. Every time he threw, Pantoja was a little nervous about it, just had to throw more. In the Matthias Nicolau fight, he hurt Nicolau, dropped him, close fight, but he just didn't do enough. In the Odi Osbourne fight, Odi was coming after him, and then he finally landed that knee. That first round, he took some big shots, landed that knee in the second round, knocked him out. So I feel like Kape, 3 fights in, this is his 4th fight in the UFC, you gotta fucking start kind of getting things going here. You gotta start getting things going. You gotta start putting a little pressure on. You're athletic, you're explosive, your footwork's good, your takedown defense is good. You have takedowns, your submission defense is improving. You have a great chin. You have all the skills to beat this guy. Now, there's a lot of arguments online that Zumagulov, he's the value player, plus 210, and I can't argue that. Listen, you get 2-1 on your money. This could come down to a really weird decision because both guys, I mean, Kape's a finisher, but Zumagulov doesn't get finished. He's got a fucking cement head. But this is going to come down to fucking my nose keeps itching. I don't know who's thinking about me out there. You guys thinking about what the fuck? Why is my nose itching? Anyway, this is going to come down to probably a decision. Kape could catch him. I mean, Kape has big power, but Zumagulov has proven to be a fucking chin from hell. But when it comes down to a fight like this, I take the lines out of the equation, right? Because I need a horse. Every card has a horse, or every card has someone you want to back immensely. That's the guy you circle, guaranteed. Life on the line, I think he's going to win. Now, there might be better spots for other people on this card that, life on the line, they might win, but mine's Manel Kape. So 265 isn't that bad. And when it comes to fights like this, you go with the more skilled fighter. Zumagulov is tough. He's durable. He comes forward. He has no cardio issues. And but he has no real way to win. He has an okay guillotine choke. I don't see that being a problem with Manel Kape. He could pressure the takedowns. He could try to clinch him up. I don't see that happening. Manel Kape is the more dangerous fighter, but he has to throw. He can't stare at this kid. He's got to get after this kid because this kid, Zumagulov, will let you come. He wants to counter. He'll let you come at him. Kape needs to do that. He needs to make a statement here. He needs to put a stamp on this division. They paid him a lot of money to come over here. He was a star in Japan. He's got to fucking prove it. Obviously, I'm picking Manel Kape. This would have been my top line slime ball parlay player. I just couldn't pull the trigger on someone else. The main event has a fighter I like in it, but I'd rather play straight plays and maybe dabble some parlays that get up in the 550s and make some money instead of fucking with a slime ball. So no slime ball this week. It's unfortunate. But we got 2 more cards. Hopefully we'll get some good slime balls in. I don't want to force it. You know what I mean? I don't want to force it. That's a great English accent. Boy, by the way, that was my mortal lock. I missed the cue. Where are we at here? That's not it. That's my best bet. That's mortal lock. One more time. Locked up, don't let you down. Yeah, so that's my mortal lock is Manel Kape. I love that. I love that fighter. I think he's extremely talented. I know Zumagulov is tough. He's durable, but if everything goes right, if Manel Kape steps up and decides to, you know what I mean, take the restrictor plate off. Whoa, where did that come from? If he decides to take the restrictor plate off and this dude's full go, he's a problem. He's a real fucking problem, and I'm here for it. All right, next up, Jake Matthews, -192 versus Jeremiah Wells, +154. This line is crazy. Jeremiah Wells made his UFC debut on like 24 hours notice, knocked out Worley Alvarez. Big buff guy, Jake Matthews been in the UFC forever, was supposed to be the next Australian star, and every time they give him a shot to really make it, he's faltered. Every shot to make it, he's faltered. Every time, he just doesn't have the star power in him, and a lot of people credit it to the fact that his dad's still coaching him. He's still in Australia. He's not mixing anything up. He's plateaued. His skill level's there. Jake Matthews is not a specialist. He's okay standing up, but he's not great. He wants to get the fight to the ground. Jeremiah Wells coming out of that Philly gym, and that Philly gym is cracking right now. Sean Brady, Pat Sabatini, Paul Felder still training there. Jeremiah Wells is grappling and rolling with fucking studs. and he's coming in against Jake Matthews, where I think he's going to have the power advantage. I think his stand-up is a little stiff, but he's got the power advantage. I think he's going to have the grappling advantage as well. I think if he's on top, it's going to be a problem. I think he's going to keep it standing, and I don't think Matthews is going to have much to say about it. I don't think he's going to be able to take Wells down. My only concern is I don't have enough on Wells to see if his cardio holds out, right? Obviously, he was slowing down the Worley fight, took down a relatively short notice, still won by knockout in that second round. Matthews is shown to have an okay chin, but he does get rattled. He does get rocked a little bit. He's been rocked. He's been finished before. Wells has big power. I like Wells to win by decision. I think he's going to piece up Matthews. I think Matthews is going to slow down, and I think he's just going to take over this fight. I think this is going to be a walk in the park for maybe not a walk in the park, but this is a fight that I'm definitely betting at plus 154. This line's moving as well. I like Jeremiah Wells in the spot. I just think he's better than Matthews. I think Matthews at this point, I hate to say it because I don't know the guy personally, right? But I'm gonna say it anyway. I think he's like checked out. Right? I think he's had his shots. He's had his moments. I think he's doing it for a paycheck. I think he's just chilling in beautiful Australia, with his dad, training, trying to get in the best shape, and he's just taking all fights. I don't think the title is in his aspirations. I don't think the title is his goal. I think just making money is his goal now. Stepping in against a bulldog like Jeremiah Wells, who's the second UFC fight, his first fight with the training camp, coming out of that Philly gym, which is hot right now. Give me Jeremiah Wells. And at plus money? Fucking plus money? Get out of here. Plus money. This was almost my send him home. Almost my send him home. I chose not to. There's another fight on here that's my send him home, which I'm now kind of regretting. It's a fight that I really dove into. We'll get to it next. Next up, Maki Pitolo, plus 138 versus Dusko Todorovic, minus 170. Maki Pitolo, fantastic nickname, Coconut Bombs, absolutely fucking cool. I wish I had a cool nickname, but what's not cool is he's coming off a few losses here. He's coming off 3. Julian Marquez, where a fight he was winning and a kind of choke. Impa Kasanane, where he looked good in the first round, then kind of faded. And then Darren Stewart, he got choked out in the first round as well, which he tried to grapple, initiate a grapple. Was weird. I mean, Darren Stewart choking you out. I mean, the dentist is choking you out. You got some problems. Dusko Todorovic, undefeated coming to the UFC, has a knockout over Michel Pereira. Comes to the UFC. Looks okay in the Contender Series. Looks okay in his debut. I mean, gets a finish over Daquan Townsend, but his last 2 fights have not looked so good. He's hittable. His chin's in the air. His power's there when he counters, right? I do think he has some power. I think he's young, right? 12 fights. This is his 13th fight. Pitolo, a little undersized for 85 in my opinion. I think Dusko's going to have the height advantage, and Maki does hit really hard. Polier Serrano knocked out Dusko Todorovic, and then Gregory Rodriguez just kind of manhandled him. Dusko is going to need to be a little more offensive here. Maki Pitolo's going to come out. He's going to throw. He's going to bang. He's aggressive, but he can be hit. He can be caught. Sometimes he gets a little emotional. Sometimes he slows down. I think Dusko, as long as he just doesn't take clean shots on the chin, as long as he can put his fucking hands up, maybe roll with the shot, something, he'll be good. This is my send him home.
Send him home. Send him home early.